call back into order at 8:03. At this point, I think we need to have a motion to table administrative reports, the business manager's report, and the school committee town council liaison report. Can I have a motion to table those three items till next month? So moved.
Second.
Karen, second. Okay. Any correspondence received, Mr. Lindbergh?
No, Madam Chair, not this time.
Okay, and also we have RIAS and superintendent association updates. We usually get those. I get RIAS, and we usually send us stuff.
Nothing from RIAS yet. Got something from my association, and I think we'll be getting more guidance on the changes, the implementation of the changes for the teacher evaluation system. So we're on hold with that until we get more guidance, until we sit with the NSTA to kind of flesh out what direction we can go in.
Okay, that'll be something to we have to work on in contract negotiation, I think, anyway. Okay, there are two items still left under old business: the FY15 operating capital budget.
There's, I'll turn it over to this is my copy.
Okay.
That's right. Oh, well, do you have more?
Right, I'll just do this school committee report on the FY15 budget.
Okay.
At this point in time, we have $3,083,996.51 remaining in the budget that is uncommitted at this time. And that's all under the FY15 budget.
We'll get more interesting next month.
Any other discussion under the FY15 operating capital budget? Hearing none. Number 4, under old business, lacrosse track field athletic program cost analysis.
Madam Chair, there's no vote requested. It can be scheduled at a future agenda. You have the backup. If you want, we can schedule in October if you'd like to, kind of unpack it a little bit more.
Is there going to be a recommendation coming from your office regarding either one of these programs in October? Is there a need to discuss it further, or are you just showing us?
We committed back in, I think, August to get you this, and so at that time, we brought you up to speed on the boys and girls lacrosse, so obviously that's not a school department funded program this spring, and track and field, I don't have a recommendation that we pick up either this fiscal year, so you can actually postpone it if you want to the FY16 budget deliberations. But we owed you this, so we want to get it.
Right, so if I'm hearing you correctly, there's really no vote needed to be taken tonight, and no reason to revisit this in this fiscal year.
Yes, Mr. Tech, are you still here?
I am.
Is that correct?
Just to add points to this, I will be meeting with the Barberville athletic director the tail end of this month, 1st of October, because we still have to, as indicated in the memo, co-ops. We have to renew our co-ops with them, even though in theory we're not fiscally or we're not committing any funds to it. We would, as a school district, have to agree to join on and continue on with our co-op agreements. However, just last week has made a few changes to the regulations regarding that, and so we have to find out whether or not we're going to continue in our co-op. So the analysis that was given to you was to give you a breakdown if in future years we have to go on our own completely, you would know what the cost would be. And then I can't speak for Barberville School Committee whether they will accept the co-op with us without us giving any funds at all this year, because our co-op agreement has ended as of last year. We were out and we had to renew. And so Barberville might be able to even go on their own based upon the number of kids that they have, which may leave our kids out. So this information was given to you just as future information, but also we are currently having to make a decision shortly. And some kind of recommendation will come to the superintendent whether we can continue our co-op and what that would require from us. So
Could we get track and field for this school year, or is it just too late to get that?
it's not too late for either of the two sports because they're spring sports, but that would require us to do some kind of proposal for funding on that. That's why I give you all the cost analysis to what it would be if we do pursue this event.
Bill, the funds become an issue because we may have an issue that we have to bring forward to you in October, November at the high school. I believe they're struggling to operate that office with one secretary, and I think for obvious reasons. So we may be coming back. As you remember, we voted to keep certain things and eliminate certain things, and so I would love to fund both lacrosse and track in a heartbeat. It's just that, so we'll see.
No, I understand, you know, we always make tough choices. Madam Chair, I just wanted to point out, before I came here, I was just attending a meet with the middle school kids who were at Woonsocket at the cross country. We must have had, I'm guessing here, I didn't make an accurate head count. Middle school, between Boston JD, girls and boys, which meets a lot of our Title I requirements, probably 8 kids. I could be wrong on that, but there's a real popularity at the middle school level. You know, great track at Smithfield High School. I just think, I can imagine what the popularity would be at the high school level. So,
I agree, unfortunately, it's not budgeted for, and we have to budget for education first.
Oh, I understand.
It's something we can look for, possibly at the next budget cycle when we start working on that, like in October. For next year, when we finally get it, it'll be January, but, if you want it for consideration, I'm suggesting that you put it in the 16 budget.
I will definitely be considering that in terms of the FY16 budget. I'll definitely look at that. Just I don't know how far it'll stretch our sense. That's what I'm trying.
Madam Chair, for the record, I'd like to consider it.
For the 16 budget or for this spring?
Well, we'll take one step at a time. I'll just say I think it's it's very cost effective, and it's a lot of, it provides sports to both young men and young women, and which is a big part of we don't have, and it's a relatively low.
Track is a very inexpensive sport.
Yes, it's one of the most, and we have the track, we have the big equipment we have. I guess that's part of my feeling, we've got this track there. We don't have a team, but we have the beautiful track.
Right.
Well, maybe there's a way we can figure out how to do both. We
Sure.
can take care of the high school situation.
Sure.
And so we'll
But,
see.
and then, as I recall, there was a discussion around, we're not gonna have one without the other. We're not gonna have track without lacrosse. Because there are parents that are on both sides of that. There are parents that are in favor of lacrosse just as much as there are parents in favor of track, so we know lacrosse can be very expensive. All right, so can we put that on the back burner for a little bit?
Absolutely.
You mind, back burner? Because I don't think it's gonna happen this spring.
I'd like to keep the open, but let's move on, let's move on.
Okay.
How about we commit to bringing it back in January? Because I think at that time,
Yeah.
we may
I don't
know.
know if that's gonna be too late to let the interscholastic league know
Okay,
of
got
our
it.
intention.
Got it, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it'd be tough to give you a commitment before January, because January would be better. Okay.
Okay, that's why I'm saying January's better for you, but the interscholastic league probably needs to know by December.
Who's effective?
When the class needs to know. They've made some things where they've made some exemptions, last minute, put things in, the bug has been put in the air that the school committee is contemplating on moving towards a possible last minute decision to join something. Currently right now, it would be possible to add in for like a spring sport if we had to, one way or the other. But we come around January, they'll start to put out the spring schedules. They have made changes before in the past. It's just they don't usually like to operate that way, so I'll put it that way. They usually like to get as much notice as possible. We wouldn't host any leagues in track and field because, according to my memo, as you saw it, we would just phase in track and field in different steps. So we would just travel, all of our meets would be away. So we would just have to provide transportation costs because we don't have all the equipment necessary to host a home track meet yet. But we could phase that in over a couple of years and take a step-by-step approach to bring the sport online here, rather than coming with one big bill at the school district and say, we need all this money up front. So it's an option.
I just want to keep it active, I don't want to bog down this point.
Okay,
We bring it back in January and see what's the.
bring back in January.
Okay.
Okay. New business. Strategic plan, progress report.
Madam Chair, may I make a suggestion for you and the committee to consider? We had scheduled this, and each one of us was going to review our progress reports, and you've been at this since 5 o'clock. I know we're all looking forward to presenting to you, however,
They've been at work all day.
what I would ask you to do, I guess the other thing too is, if I may, I don't know that you've had a chance to really look at these, and honestly, I implore you, if we could put it to October, and I would ask that you please just look at they call PRAR sections. The reason being is, there is a tremendous amount of work that's reflected that we've accomplished that's directly tied to what you hear about all the time. This is what drives what we do, and I know that it's tedious, and I know that there's no other way for me to give it to you, but I would really ask that you spend some time and just look at the progress reports and just focus on the row that says PRAR. And if you'd be willing to put it on the October agenda, because we will ask you to approve, a vote of approval on these, so, because we also talk about our objectives this year. Unless you're ready to do this tonight.
No, I think that, these educators have been here at work all day. They want to go home and put their jammies on.
That's why I suggested what I
Okay,
said.
can I have a motion to table this, please?
I motion to table it, Madam President.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kyle. Second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Shea, Mrs. Nardoli. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Table, let's put this on the October agenda, please, Mr.
I do want to thank the administrators, they've done a wonderful job on
Thank you
this.
for being prepared, but guess what? I can't always. All right, cafeteria table bid award?
Approved student handbooks?
Oh, sorry, skip.
That's okay.
Student handbook.
Madam Chair, I recommend the approval of the elementary and middle school student handbooks for distribution.
Confer the superintendent's recommendation. Is there a motion? So moved, Mrs. Nardoli. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Petty. Is there any discussion about these handbooks?
They look fine.
Looks good. They look good to me.
Okay.
And thank you to the people who worked hard to put these handbooks together. This is again. Everybody. He's pointing at her, and she's pointing at you guys. Thank you all.
Well, it was a team effort.
Move the question.
Okay. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Cafeteria tables.
Madam Chair, I recommend the award of the bid to iDesign in a total of $29,152.60 as submitted. The breakdown is as follows and as submitted, and if you recall, from Mrs. Marcotte's recommendation in August, I think it was, or July, that these don't come out of your operating budget. This is as a result of RIDE approval from the food service. Help me out here.
I'm not sure if their formal name is, it's the,
It's a formal name, but it's a committed account, and Lisa had recommended that we could do this, so. We didn't quite get the number that we wanted, our goal was 20, so we are 3 regular tables short, but it's a heck of a start to get those old jalopies out of the cafeteria. Right now, there's not enough seating for, Mr. Mezzanotte, isn't that accurate? There's not enough seating?
Correct, that is true. We're getting by right now because the weather's been nice and the seniors can go outside, which they enjoy. So we're getting by with that right now.
So will we be okay with the 17th?
Yeah, we'll, honestly, if we're about 4,800 short to get the full 20. I had a talk with Lisa. Yeah.
So at this time, it's too early to really evaluate where we're gonna be with the food service budget, but if you did decide to go with the 20, I want to remind you that should this year's budget not be able to support that, we have about $35,000 in the fund balance for the food service, and food service fund balance funds can only be used to support the food service program, so we can't use that money anywhere else in the budget.
So what are you saying? We could do this? Or
Well, I'm saying if this year's budget was not able to support it, we
Yes.
could fall back on the $35,000 that was in the fund balance.
Let's make a motion. Somebody needs to make a motion. We'll carry on the discussion.
I make a motion that we accept the recommendation for discussion.
Okay? Mr. Kyle, motion to
Second.
Okay, and second, Nardoli, you have some
just a little confused. It sounds like, and maybe I'm hearing this wrong, it's like, this is a good bid, we like it, we're gonna go with this, but we're still gonna have a problem even after we expend this amount of money for this number of repairs. I wonder, well, if we're still gonna have a problem.
Are we gonna have a problem? Do you think that 17 round tables is gonna be enough per lunch?
17, and how many per table, we said? We said it was,
They could sit, at least 10,
10 or 12, I think, right?
10 to 12.
Yeah.
and you have one that's handicap accessible that can be used by,
Want to
regular
do the quick
students.
math?
You know,
Okay.
I don't wanna blow our budget on this and then
It's
check
only
out this.
$5,000,
Right,
so.
Yeah, but we have money in the fund, that we have money in the,
Exactly, so we can do a second motion and we can authorize that $5,000 or that $4,800 to come out of the food services budget to purchase the extra 3 tables.
I know I appreciate that consideration, but I
So
didn't
let's
want
do
to put
two
myself in a
separate,
spot.
let's do that as a
Yeah,
separate
okay.
motion, okay?
Yep.
So motion, any more discussion on this first motion? That's the motion to approve the bid. Okay.
Reward the bid, I should say.
Reward the bid,
Reward the bid.
okay? Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye. And now we need a motion to approve the 4887 be taken out of the food services restricted fund to purchase 3 more tables. Okay, can I have a motion to that effect? Is that okay? You know what I said?
Yeah, I'm thinking. We can do that, that's what we can do that, we can take it from the food service budget.
So I'll come.
Yes,
Okay.
and the reality is that's a smart move because this is a bid price. And if we buy 3 separate down the road, we may not get this price.
Right.
So,
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so motion to, by Mr. Khan, seconded by Mrs. Smith. Any further discussion? No. Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. So 20 tables, please.
Thank you,
17.
thank you for that.
20 tables, not 17.
thank you.
Welcome.
Are we locked into that price, by the way?
Yes, that's a lock-in price. That's an excellent price, by the way. So I think that was a smart move. Like I said, if we bought them another time.
Once a day,
Yeah.
to get that smart. It must have had me smart ideas earlier today, there was no bad ideas.
That's okay.
Good,
Move the question.
all right, I think we did. Did we already vote?
Next one, yes, next one.
Good, okay. Temporary waiver of policy BB2 athletic insurance.
Based upon a review by Mr. Marcotte, I recommend the following sections only of the policy temporarily, or waived temporarily. Insurance for athletics, athletics page 3 is, it's a school requirement that all students must have purchased school insurance before she participates. So we're asking that be waived.
You've heard the
I have a question about that.
Yeah, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, we accept the recommendation, but for discussion, I have no questions.
Okay,
I just have a, I'm sorry.
wait, I need a second.
I'm sorry.
second,
Second, Mr. Boucher, okay, now Mr. Connolly, you can discuss.
Okay, I just want to be clear on this one. Are we open, are we exposing ourselves to any liability by this, by waiving this requirement? I mean, that's a bad question.
we open this up if someone has insurance, correct? If they don't have insurance, then they have to get the claim.
Yeah, we didn't include, I don't think I included all the letters and forms that you had received, but basically, Mr. Pachetti is right. It's only a way for people who can provide proof that they have, that their students insured and covered.
Like a homeowner's policy or something?
Yeah, we're still, I think Lisa's still working out.
The health insurance here, or life?
Health insurance.
Is every school that has to pay that outrageous amount of money for insurance now?
Everyone probably knows.
Is it gonna be just for the football season or all sports?
Well, football has a higher requirement for liability insurance than the other sports do, but some districts don't require insurance at all. There are 2 districts that we know of in particular that pay for the insurance for their athletes.
And we're gonna come back with that research. It's a rider coverage, and I don't know that we have the number yet, but that's almost another layer of coverage before they get into our liability. So give us more time, but we needed you to formally waive this because you had already waived it,
Yeah.
because we already put it into play.
Well, they went from $12 to $200.
Yeah.
And that's per season or per year?
For season.
No, it's
No,
not.
per year.
It's per year.
For
Well,
football?
Well, no,
For this
football is
fiscal
separate.
year.
Now, if they play another sport, they get to pay the additional for that other sport, that covers them for the year.
Yeah, I pay $7.50.
Yeah, you only have to pay the one, except for football is higher, so.
It went from 19 to 200, I think, something.
9.
Total care.
Okay.
And Riasco also has a meeting scheduled today to try to negotiate something.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. First reading revised policies. We have Roman numeral 4D1, high school graduation requirements, and BC1, honors and academic awards, right?
Yes, these were changed as a result of the changes at the state level.
So basically, no more state assessment
Correct.
towards graduation.
We gave you a shaded, crossed out copy so you can
Yeah.
see what's been edited.
Per the superintendent's recommendation, is there a motion?
Yeah. Approve the recommendation.
First, to approve the first reading?
Yes, approve the first reading.
Second.
Mr. Connell and Mr. Pachetti. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And, we still have to do number 6, that's a separate one. Okay, we're gonna rescind the policy,
Yep, I recommend
IBD,
that we
which,
vote to rescind.
that one was the waiver if a kid didn't pass the state assessment. Now we no longer have to grant a waiver because it's no longer a graduation requirement.
That's no longer appropriate.
So isn't that crazy?
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation that we rescind the policy.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Connell. Second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Pachetti. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, and number 7 is policy IIF5, automated external defibrillator, AEDs.
Just procedures, for your information only, it doesn't require a vote. It'll become part of your school committee handbook as a procedure.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on that policy? Good. Nightlife program concept.
Madam Chair, I recommend the committee vote to support the proposal as submitted and allow us to do more development of the proposal and come back to you. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm hoping that you all will talk about it versus me and see what you think of it. So, it's on the table in front of you.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept this superintendent's proposal, that we support the nightlife program concept proposal. I think it's a great idea. Put it out there.
I agree. Thank you, Mr. Connell. Second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Pachetti. Any discussion?
Yeah, I think this is just a great thing for us to be doing for the school to go and people don't understand that it's trying night programs, weekend programs, just that expanding what we do for the community. I just think it's a win-win.
I agree. I mean, I think that was originally, when the middle school was built, that was one of the things we thought we were gonna use it for, right? Activities at night and,
Yeah, in meetings, and then you run into the whole
yeah.
security issue. But folks, number 6 is really important, so I just want to make sure that the issue with this is, you know, Mr. McGee got this off the ground several years ago on his own, but he really, he can't shoulder that burden. And it was quite successful on a small level with computer technology. We had adults in the community who just wanted more. And so the issue is we need a standard bearer. We need a kind of quasi-director. And so number 6 is important because although I don't have a figure for that, and I want to talk to Lisa about it, that's going to be critical. We don't have a lot of places to fund it, but I believe if you support the seed money, it's going to come back to you tenfold. Once it gets off the ground, our eventual goal is that it be self-sustaining. And so, but we need seed money.
So to, like, for example, you charge tuition for whatever program, or facilities use fee if it's
Sure.
outside.
Yes.
Agency and that sort of thing.
Quick example, Mrs. Bonus, let's say you are willing to teach a workshop on financial management to seniors. And let's say that, you know, we can offer you a stipend, but if we don't have enrollment, are you willing to adjust that stipend down to enrollment to build it up? I've talked to a couple of people already that are very interested in this, and they said, absolutely, they wouldn't be doing it for the money. And if they did get a nominal stipend based on enrollment, they don't have any problem with that, they build it up. So I think it has great potential.
Okay. So, did we, take a look?
Yeah, we did. Oh, we did. Nice.
No, we
We just haven't
Motion.
finalized it.
Okay, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion carries. So, homeschooling request, Mr. Lindberg?
Madam Chair, I recommend the committee vote to approve the following homeschool requests for 14-15 school year only as submitted.
Thank you, you've heard his recommendation, is there a motion?
I'll move we accept it.
Thank you, Mr.
It's
Klein.
recommendation.
Second.
And second, Mr. Petty. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion carries. And we've got some donations to accept.
I recommend the committee vote to accept the donation of a refrigerator for the staff lounge in accordance with Rhode Island General Law 1689-4 grants, gifts, donations, acceptance, and expenditures, as well as the National Marker Company, Michael Black donation to Hallowell for the large banner for Hallowell Summer Story Walk.
Okay, you've heard, the superintendent's recommendation to accept these donations, is there a motion?
I move we accept it. Superintendent's recommendation that we accept these donations.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Klein.
Second.
Second, Mr. Petty, any discussion?
Thank you.
Yes,